Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another Solo Chronicles, which is like a subset of my Diary of a Happy Black Woman series or whatever. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to actually discuss the question, why do my partners always disappoint me? I've definitely been through relationships where I'm disappointed. I find that I'm disappointed often. And so we're going to talk about disappointment in relationships. And really, it kind of boils down to unrealistic expectations that we set for our partners. Before we jump into this, quick introduction. Alexandria Ashcroft. I am a romance and erotic fiction author. I have published books on Amazon. I write on the Radish Fiction app and Wattpad as well if you want free reads of drafts. They are like first drafts, so they are. But anyway, I share my content on there. Check out my website and join my email list if you haven't already. And I do have a couple of notes here that I want to touch on. So again, today we're going to be talking about why do my partners always disappoint me? And this is kind of looking back at like previous relationships in general. And the short answer to that is that we set unrealistic expectations for our partners that we expect them to uphold. And this doesn't necessarily have to apply just to romantic partnerships. It could also be friendships or even like familiar relationships. Like we have certain expectations for like our parents or our siblings or whatever the case may be. And when that person or those people don't meet that expectation, it's disappointing to us. So I think one of the bigger questions is like, how can we not feel disappointments? And it's not to say that I wouldn't say that you don't have, well, I guess it's like, don't have expectations. I think when it comes to picking a partner, it's good to have things that are deal breakers for you. So that if your partner ever crosses that line or they meet the criteria that's a deal breaker for you, you have to be willing to walk away from the situation. And I think that's part of why we get so disappointed because we see the behavior. Like people always show us who they are. We often choose not to accept or we choose to ignore that behavior or the things that they say or whatever, or we think it's a one-off. It's not a one-off. This person is showing you who they are, and now it's up to you that you know that that quality exists, whether or not you want to, whether or not that's acceptable to you. Long term, you always have to extrapolate a behavior and be like, if this person drinks every single day, is this acceptable to me? If this person does drugs recreationally, is this acceptable to me? If this person has to tell his mama everything about everything, is this acceptable to me? And I mean everything about everything. Like, means you don't have any business, you don't have privacy. Like, you shouldn't have to tell your partner what things should be private and what things shouldn't be private. So if he got to tell his mama everything, that's a red flag. That's an issue to me. But it might be okay to you. Maybe you don't care. But you always have to evaluate those behaviors and the things that you see and determine whether or not that's something that you want to deal with or not. I feel like by making that determination, it early, it keeps you from having to deal with the disappointment because you nipped it in the bud right away and you're moving on with your life. Another thing is investing too much too soon in a partner. When you invest too much too soon, you've extrapolated the next 10 years of your life with this person, and they haven't even proven to you that they deserve to go on a third or fourth date with you. So really, it's just like taking a step back and stop projecting into the future what's possible and take things for what is now right in front of your face. And in the next date, from this information that I have right now in front of my face, do I want to see this person again? Yes. Okay. Next date. Now that I see this person here, like just taking it for face value until you get to a place in your relationship where you see like, okay, these are the places where we connect. These are the places where we don't connect. Does this person hit any of the items in my no-go list or not? And you go from there. And then when you're like in a committed relationship and things are going well, then one can extrapolate the relationship into the future. But I think in general, as a generalized statement, as women, we kind of give too much too soon, especially if we find somebody that meets a number of the positive things that we're looking for in a partner, and we kind of ignore that other list that people want to this just doesn't exist. This list just doesn't exist. But it's very important. It's good to know what you will accept and what you absolutely will not. What you will not accept. Okay. So like I said, backing off a little bit will help you to basically not give up too much too soon and take a step back in your relationships and don't extrapolate too far in the future with somebody before they've proven to you that they deserve to go on to the next step. And don't set unrealistic expectations that you want someone else to fulfill, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to disappoint you. Don't make your relationship a guessing game, okay, for somebody. Like, if there's something that you want, if there's something that you need, verbalize it. Tell the person what you want and what you need, and then they will show you or tell you whether or not they're able to provide that for you. Show you if they are going to or going to not provide that thing for you, and then you make the determination from what they show you whether or not you want to move forward. I think the key to all of this, however, is being willing to walk away. So this whole series, the Solo Chronicles series, is kind of focusing on you holding the power to direct or to guide your love life. So by you being settled in yourself and being okay with being single and loving being with you and love dating yourself, that you're going to have like this inner confidence and this inner strength to be able to determine whether or not you want someone else to be in your life or you don't want them to be in your life. So one of the biggest things that we allow people to disappoint us is when we're not willing to walk away from the situation. We're not willing to put space between us and them because we're so set or settled on having someone. So like the walking away power in any sort of like deal type of situation is the power, you know? If you're buying a house and you're not willing to walk away, or you're selling a house and you're not willing to go below a certain number, and if they cross that line, you're like, no, walk away from the deal. I feel like a similar concept should be utilized, especially in the earlier stages of your relationship, when someone, like, you're getting to know each other and you're trying to determine whether or not you want them in your life, not that they're already in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't give them too much power too fast. Those are my thoughts on, I should say, how to not be disappointed by people in your life in general, or partners, especially partners in your life. If you have a situation where you were disappointed with your partner, leave it in a comment down below. And if you have any additional thoughts on this one, also leave it in a comment. I think that's all I have to say for now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.